So we got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a hey now. Metal Mike coming at you. That's right, Wednesday evening. Kids at soccer. I got the cabin, the bunker, all to myself. Why not do a little video? Fellow collectors, because that's what I'm going to start calling you. Because that's what we are, really, right? I got a wonderful piece today that I want to share with you that I got out in the field. Picking and junking. Doing what I do, doing what I love to do, and that is hunt for treasure. And I found this really great piece. So let me show it to you. Hopefully, be a few of you guys that like this. So what we got here is a racing trophy. Now let me get pan back a little bit of it, and then I'll zoom in to show the size of it. It's got a little speed racer up there on the top. Pretty radical, right? And we'll get to what makes it special, because right now you're going, well, it's just a car trophy, Mike. True, but it is cool, right? It's got a pretty rad car on top, so we're just starting with that, because I'm kind of hyped about this. And then we go down, we get the typical trophy cup, right? You got this beautiful base, though, wood. This is not plastic either. It's kind of a die cast. It's really pretty awesome. There's nothing broken off of it. There's a couple chips there. But okay, so let's get to why I really dig it. So notice the wood base. First we'll pull that out and set it aside. We'll get to it in a little bit. So this is from Minnesota. You know, so the number one, cool, right? It's from Minnesota Dragway Champion. Sponsored by KDWB. 1963. So KDWB, it was, and I don't know if they still are, maybe they are, a local Twin Cities, Minnesota radio station that played rock, classic rock. I don't know what they played in 63. So this is the second annual drag festival. And it's, well, it says on the bottom, it says 5th. It says 69. So that's interesting. Oh, maybe that, I get it. Okay, KDWB Channel 63. That's what we're getting at. There you go, Mike. Getting old. Second annual drag festival. Weird. Let's see, what does it say right there? Oh yeah, old age. You better believe it. It's a second annual drag festival here, but then this thing. Oh, all right. It's weird. It's a 66, 60. Oh, all right. Okay, we're getting it right. KDWB Channel 63, second annual drag fest, Minnesota Dragways, 1966. And it looks like someone has slid down this metal card over it. So that makes sense more now of the look of it. So that's chrome. I just need that other piece must have been added in 69. So that's rad. I didn't notice that. So okay, Minnesota Dragway 66. Now we're back on track. And from KDWB. And then what's really cool is this ticket was stuck right there. Now the woman at the shop, she was interested to show me this. She's like, well, look at this, is really interesting. It slides up like unless you put your stash in there. Back in the 60s, I guess. But I'm sure it's just, it simply slid up. Getting back to this ticket, and really now it's even a little more unique with what I'm realizing now, that this seems to be another piece from maybe another trophy, but realistically, it looks like it's just been on that, in that spot for many years. So I'm going to leave it with it. I mean, obviously I would have done that anyway, but I would have maybe went back, because there were some more trophies, and see if there was one from 69. But why would he take the 69, add it to the 63, whatever. KDWB. So here's the ticket stub. Let's see what year this ticket stub's from then. Does it stay? I'm sure it doesn't, right? Why are they going to put the year on it? So that is a really fun piece for me as a local. It's got a lot of cross appeal, you know. It's got the drag racing. It's got maybe a trophy collector. I don't know how hot trophy collectors are. I dig them. I see them from time to time, and I kind of really dig them. I know they don't bring much. Sometimes they do. They get, obviously, the more unique, but this is really cool, being it's just got those three. Number one, it's racing. Doesn't love racing cars and stuff like that. It's got a great look. It just looks good. And then you add that Minnesota history to it and the radio station on top of it. I'm pretty stoked. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting too old, but I like it, and I actually paid for it. So I think it's a good piece, and so I think that it's going to have a home here in my collection. I think I'm going to put it right here. I think it belongs in the garage, right? It just looks cool. You kind of got a vibe going now. We got the car trophy, we got the helmets, we got the World War I prop up there. We got the beautiful truck, gorgeous truck. Well, collectors, but as you can see, I'm off and running. It's getting late. Man, my bedtime is 10 o'clock. I still got to get upstairs and eat some cookies. And I'm actually reading a book right now that I will recommend. You have to be a really hardcore football fan that would read it. I mean, it's called Fatso, and it's by Art Donovan. And he was a defensive lineman for the Baltimore Colts in the 1950s. I knew of him in the 80s. He used to be on, he would go on David Letterman. I'm sure you can totally find him on YouTube. He played in the 1958 Giants-Colts championship game where they beat New York. And it's a really cool book. It kind of gets away from football for a little bit, and he tells the history of his whole family, which is really cool. But the football part is why I'm reading it. And I'll tell you a great story that I read in the book. So it's called Fatso, Art Donovan. It's a book that came out probably early 1980s. And that's when he would do the, you can see my David Letterman too, he talked football. But he had this great story. So he was from New York. And they beat the New York Giants in what some consider the game that changed the NFL and brought it to America on an insane level in '58. And I knew this all before reading this book, but so that's why it kind of ties into it. I just love the guy. But he brings up this story of the '58 game, which I really kind of had, wasn't too pinpointed in on and didn't realize he was in it, but he was in that damn game. That's when Unitas brought him back and drove him down. I think it was the first tie game. Whatever. They beat the Giants in New York. He grew up in New York, so the next day, you know, they've won the championship, and he's playing for the Colts. And he goes and he visits his family, and you know, everyone's congratulating him and praising him and being really great about it. His family, even though everyone's a Giant fan, you know, but they're happy for him. So you know, that's the main beautiful part of it. So that's all left aside that they're Giant fans. They love that Art has been involved in this championship game, and he's feeling good, and so he goes strolling down the street that he grew up on. Now, you know, now he's successful. He's got some money in his pocket. They won the championship game the night before, and suddenly he sees this old man that he had known that was their next door neighbor, and they had grown up together. I mean, not grown up together, but you know, as he grew up from a little boy. He knew this, and he knew his name, and so he says, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so," and he turns at him and he goes, "You fat bum, what'd you do? Lose your job again?" He didn't even know that he played football. He didn't know that he had won the championship game the night before. He calls him a bum. He calls him Fatso and a bum. "You fat bum, what'd you lose your? What'd you get fired for?" This is exactly what he said. He goes, "You fat bum, did you get fired from another job?" Nah, he might even call him a loser, who knows. But he laughed and he got a kick out of it. Obviously, he was feeling great. Just kind of funny. The old timer didn't know, and I thought it was a great story. Reading that book, and that's what I'm going to go do right now. I'm going to go eat some cookies with some milk, and then I'm going to read that book. And I'm going to go hunt for treasure tomorrow. I might be able to get out in the morning. I'm going to ask the girlfriend, can I go out? Can I sneak out? Will you watch the kids for an hour? See if we can find one sale. It'd be rad to get out tomorrow and find something vicious. I know it's out there. It's out there. And if I can't get out there, you get out there. Find it. Hey now, another day. Blast above ground. See you real soon.